Alright, so the redeems have been shut off. They'll be turned back on later after I'm done going over all the information. So I can hopefully post this to YouTube without any problems. Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let's get started. So this is the new Rise microsite that they have up. It's gonna come out on November 13th, which is in 3 days from now. So everyone's excited and getting prepped. Nice visuals. First things that's coming up to cover is definitely the dungeon revamp. They're consolidating the tech doings into one difficulty across the board. And looks like they are converting the variable path for Crom Boss into two difficulties. Basic and normal, which I'm going to assume basic is around the 30% mark, maybe 0%, and normal's more akin towards 80%. Uh, I'm glad that they're shortening the ULAD dungeon length. So hopefully we don't get random generation like we were before, because that was a, especially if we were chasing the end chest, those generations were very, very painful to try to get to the end chest for, to farm for the D-rope patterns. Here, I'm glad that they're removing the Feth Fiata zombie corridors. That was annoying. That was actually a huge gatekeeper for that particular. So I'm glad that they're removing that. It'll be a lot quicker. I'm surprised that they didn't announce the other changes that we were going to see with the other text. They just kind of focus on the Feth corridor. So hopefully in tomorrow's stream they go over that. But I'm glad that they're also making Crom Boss a whole lot easier and less tedious by removing that escort hallway. It looks like, yeah. Well, actually, no, that's the hostage hallway that they're saying right there. So I think it's removing both hallway phases? Not entirely sure. And then, for Glen Burna, they're adding in a basic difficulty that can be soloed, which is nice. Hi, Bay. Yeah, sorry, the redeems are, disabled right now. I should probably, type that note in. I'll turn back on redeems after. I just gotta get through this. Want to make sure. But yeah, so part of the dungeon revamp that they're doing is they're getting rid of the dungeon passes for advanced hard mode difficulty, which is nice. So that means we don't have to worry about finding passes, or for the VIP people, we don't have to worry about saving our pass boxes for a particular day. They're just removing the defense hallway. Okay. And they're removing the weekly count limit for tech doings, which is really, really nice. That's going to make farming for the different materials and equipment very easy. More dungeon rewards via near tight. Gets near tight crystal to open a chest and get special rewards in addition to the basic reward. So it resets every Thursday, and it's a max 10 per character, and I think that's a global limit too for max 10 per week per account. So in total, you're only going to get 10 chances, but you can split it across multiple characters. And it works for the Tech Doing mission reward chest and the dungeon reward chest. Looks like some of the items that can potentially drop from using the near tight would be BMEs, Remnants of Illusion, Kraken Hearts, and Perseus Voiceless Arrows, and Shine Seeker. Shine Seeker orbs are going to be the big thing because it unlocks the Shine Seeker Albi dungeon variant, which basically are looter dungeon that they're going to be advertising. So another big change coming to the dungeon revamp is the basically they're dropping whole weapons and equipment to better go through the upgrade system. So for the hard mode dungeons, it's going to drop Celtic weapons and the new refined armor sets. For Tectuine, it's going to be the same as before. It's going to be the Perseus weapons, the and the Gios gear. Specifically, they put in the Ultimate Gios armor sets and the Demolition weapons here. Not sure if the Ruin materials are still going to be dropped from Tectuine missions, but I think they're going to move that over to the Crown Boss and Glenbirna dungeon reward, because here they have it set to potentially drop Nightbringer weapons and Ruination weapons. And we're also getting a new UI for the dungeon guide. That's going to be neat. And then so then there, along with the new dungeon update, we're getting an equipment update. And one of the big things is the equipment rarity grade system. So it ranges from common, sturdy, fine, exquisite, and masterwork. In the letter, they specifically said that all of our current crafted gear and gacha obtained gear that has stats or the gacha armor are going to be masterwork. And events given by the event weapons earned through events are going to have the exquisite rarity. So I'm hoping when we get the update that it will keep to that. Hopefully nothing goes wrong with that, but make sure you check your gear before. But yeah. So they're also going over the new refined armor. So the refined Dust and Silver Knight set, gonna have absorption enhancement, 10% chance to one. Refined Northern Light set's gonna be our new healing enhancement. Also gives magic attack boost. Nice. Refined Royal Knight set is going to be our max damage and crit. And the refined Majestic Knight set is going to have the Assault Slash enhancement. These are all going to be added to existing refined armors that we have in the game currently. So, the Northern Light sets. I think that comes from the potential. So, I'm gonna have to check to see. Added equipment set effects looks like we're getting the refined Bohemia set, Presidia set, Hibona set, and the Languris set. I do apologize if I botch all of these names. So this is so that it aligns well with current Arcana sets. So we have Bohemian set for basically Arcana sharpshooters. Presidia set for the Alchemy Arcanas are coming out. Hibona set is definitely for our Dark Diviners, and the Languris set, looks to be for a general damage set. Heal stamina consumption minus 10. That's definitely for you. Yeah, it's only it's mastery damage by 5%. Yeah. Looks like they're adding in the Nightbringer one-handed axe and the Nightbringer healing wand. So that's going to be good for our Sacred Guards and our Harmonic Saints out there. I am in game. So the Shine Seeker dungeon, they're adding in a new variant for the Albi dungeon lobby. Is this supposed to be the one in the other world? I think it's the one in the other world. So I'm not exactly sure. Hello. I don't know why they're calling this the regular Albi dungeon instead of the Albay dungeon. But hello. Hello guys, welcome to the chat. Just covering over the microsite. Then we're gonna go into the letters after all this. Yeah, the background's Albay, so I'm going to assume it is the Albay dungeon. They just forgot the E. But yeah, so this dungeon is going to be used to basically get potentially end game progression gear like Rune Weapon Series, Void Robe that's untradeable, but it can be used in the recipe to be upgraded to an actual D robe later on. The enchant set increase rolls what interests me because I want to see if it's like all of it or just like one line from a 3-line enchant. And Nightbringer Weapon Series 2. Clear's Grass TR. I am hoping that it keeps the music buff stats because well, see, I tell you, they're gonna be reviewing that in the letter afterward. But I hope that the Fleur's Grass TR keeps its crafted stats because they've had problems with it granting music buff effects in past events that they had to go back and. So how to obtain Shine Seeker Orbs, which is the way to get into this dungeon. Do 3 Shine Seeker Orbs daily. By speaking with an NPC or collect refined crystal shards to exchange for orbs. Orbs can be received once per day per account, and the allowance of orbs you can receive purchase resets daily at 7 a.m. or at the server time. Let's see here. The number of shards required to purchase additional orbs increases with each subsequent purchase. So, gotta be farming a lot. And looks like we received the refined crystals by disassembling untradeable weapons that we get from the dungeons. When disassembling equipment with the hashtag dungeon loot tag, the rewards are given based on the equipment's typing, so it's grade based. So now that we're getting all this gear, we're getting the new equipment inheritance system too. So to answer chat that's currently going on, it's untradeable weapons. You don't get the refined crystals from tradable weapons. They all have to be like all the weapons that we get from dungeons are dropping as untradeable to begin with. And so you dismantle those. So yeah. So this is to I guess preserve the economy. That way like our market isn't flooded with a whole bunch of other weapons that we can just disassemble at will to get infinite tries at a void robe in the new dungeon. Okay. So, moving on to the equipment inheritance system. The inheritance system is basically going to be the new sacrifice system for Mabi, where you have your core weapon and then the weapons that you want to feed into it. Now, you can feed reforges into it that you have prior on another weapon, or like you want stats from the holy water and enchants, I believe, can be also passed on to by feeding into it. So since some of the weapons are dropping, so with the new dungeon weapons, they're going to be dropping with reforged lines that are automatically rank 1 with up to a maximum of level 20, and they're going to be 3-lined. So we'll be able to farm for reforges and feed them into our weapon with this new inheritance system, which is what I'm looking for. No more trying to wait and grind for reforging. So, here, they're going over a little bit more about it. Old and new weapons. You can prep your old weapons by adding the desired attributes, then make sure your new items get ready to receive. The old equipment will be consumed in the process and disappear, so that's the risk there. And the new target weapons become untradeable once the inheritance is. Be aware of that. So, looks like the inherited enhancements can include Holy Flame, Holy Water, special upgrades, reforges, enchants, and Erg. So, depending on what you want to transfer, I think there's going to be a cost here. But it looks like it's all separated by tabs. So, I think you can only select maybe one or two of it. I'm not entirely sure. But there's going to be like a gold cost, and then there's a shard cost over here. So we'll have to see. Uh, so currently right now, there is a Q&A questionnaire out there. Please post that question in the Q&A section for the CMs to actually go over that in stream tomorrow. So moving on to the simplified reforging section. Yeah, sure, I can post a link to that. Give me a second here. I gotta find that chat with RC. That's a new Rise QA form for you to submit it. So they'll be taking questions. Well, if you scroll back up. So just to review. That's not it. Yes, you're right. When disassembling equipment with the dungeon loot tag. Okay, so then where were we? Yes. Alright, simplified reforging. So they're simplifying the reforging system to improve accessibility because they recognize that it was a bottleneck. So what they're doing is the rank processor and reforging will be upgraded depending on tool use. 1 to 3 lines will be rolled with each attempt. So reforged stats will be added to equipment obtained from dungeons. Depending on the grade, you can attain items with 1 to 3 reforging. Kind of already covered that. And then they kind of gave the purpose here. It's like when you're getting the reforged, you're supposed to transfer it to your actual main items. There. Looks like they're keeping the exquisite reforging tool. And something else about special upgrades is that even though the upgrade fails on special upgrades 1 to 5, the level will remain unchanged. So we will not have to suffer through the hell of upgrading it up to level 4 and then being downgraded. That is getting removed. Thank the God.